So this is great. Again, I'm excited. Everything I heard so far, and hopefully everybody else is just as excited. There's so much going on within this space, and what GBA is doing. I think it's added benefit to the public. We just got to continue what we're doing. And I say this a lot. A lot of people talk, and I think Mark might have said this, Mark Wasser, right? A lot of people talk, and there's not that many doing, right? The thing about GBA, we talk, we understand, and we do. And there's a lot of stuff coming out of GBA, and it's just amazing. I'm so glad to be part of this group. A lot of smart people, a lot of interesting stuff going on. So let me start. This meeting's been great so far. Like I said, I gotta turn the air conditioner on. I'm sweating like crazy in here. So my family likes everything open, all the doors open and stuff, and like the heat coming in, and I'm dying here. So let me go on. So you guys, everybody can see my screen, right? Good. I hope so.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. So let's go down. So what I'm going to talk about today. So I'm going to talk about the cryptocurrency maturity profile. And I'm Mark Montoya. I'm the chief data officer for the GBA. But before I get into that, I don't know if anybody has done this yet, right? I actually went to a cookout. You know, everybody's starting to get together, have cookouts. Everybody that's had both of their vaccines, right? They still wear masks, but they take it off as we go outside. So I went to the backyard, and you know, everybody's talking, but everybody's around this table, this bowl, right? And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, yeah, what's the big deal? I walked up to it, you know, had my drink in my hand. I was like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, oh, it's deep fried cicadas. And I was like, oh, the 17-year cicadas. And they're like, yeah, try it. People were like, I'm not trying that. And they walked away. And yeah, I was like, okay, I'll try it. I'll try the cicada. So I tried the cicada, deep fried cicada, and yeah, it wasn't that bad. So people that are on the fence about it, it actually wasn't that bad. It was actually, it didn't taste like chicken. I can tell you that right now. It didn't taste like chicken whatsoever. I don't know, gamey, I guess. I don't know, but it tasted okay. It was deep fried cicadas. But just saying that, I was like, okay, I did the deep fried cicada. I did it, you know, maybe 17 years from now, I'll try it again. But I searched on the internet. There's all these recipes. I think there's chefs all around the world that were actually waiting for this to happen. So they create all these meals. And like right here on the screen, it says 13 mouthwatering cicada dishes for the summer. And you can see it. I mean, you see it from, I don't know what this is, some kind of tortilla or something. And then what's interesting at the very end, you have like a shish kebab with cicadas. So if there's any, I don't think there's any more cicadas out. I think you guys should do it this weekend. I think you guys should actually run out there and actually try it.
Hey, Mark, I need to interrupt you for just a second. Jordan, we need to make sure that we capture this recording and put it on our YouTube channel, because if somebody comes to the Government Blockchain Association YouTube page and they get a recipes for cicada dishes, that will prove that we're unlike any other organization.
That's right. That's right. And we can say these are all bodybuilding GBA recipes, right? Because we're all bodybuilders here. So yeah, this is awesome. But yeah, I tried it. I did it. I don't know if anybody else wants to do it too, but it's just not bad. I don't think it's that bad at all. It tastes like venison, gamey venison. How about that? Okay, so let's move on. So I'm going to give you my presentation outline. I don't think it's going to take as long as some of the other ones. Maybe it'll be like 10 minutes, but I think there's some good stuff that I'm about to present here. So we're going to talk about the background, talk about what the cryptocurrency maturity profile is, how did it come about, get into the actual GBA dashboard strategy that's been drafted, talk about the framework behind it, give you a live demo of this of the dashboard that we have now, and then talk about what's next, and then we can summarize and close out the presentation. So I'll give you some background on this. How did it all start? And Gerard mentioned it already. It really started from when we started doing work with the tax working group with Ksenia and your professors Jorg, the Morpheus folks out of Australia, Bill Elder, Sachin, who's now working for a cryptocurrency exchange. We all were starting to get together during this pandemic session and create a paper. Again, it was Gerard's idea. How about coming up with a paper talking about the impact of cryptocurrency on government? So the idea started here to have this type of dashboard, because we're gathering so much information, right? There's so many metrics out there, so much data in the cryptocurrency and government space of what was happening with how the governments are dealing with it. That the idea came out of these discussions, because there's so much data. I think Gerard, even Jordan, remember these conversations. There was so much going on, and some of them got really deep. And I think we did YouTube videos on it, especially the heated privacy versus anonymity. I think it comes in second from the voting discussion that you guys held the other a couple months ago. And then what happened is that we reached out to GBA strategic partners. So what I mean by strategic, okay, hold on, let's start from reach out to GBA's strategic partners. We're looking for partners that actually have data offerings, and there's a couple of them. The one company that we worked with first was Morpheus out of Australia, Morpheus Analytics, and they have offered data sources from the cryptocurrency networks and blockchain networks. And we reached out to them. There's some other ones that we also have partnerships with that they'll start providing data with us, but that's later in the future after this we get this proof of concept out. Out of that, we drafted an initial data strategy, and I'll cover that later on in the presentation. And then out of the initial data strategy and agreement, what the requirements are, what we're going to put into it, we have this, I call it a proof of concept. I think it's ready for prime time, but we'll get into that. It's a great proof of concept right now. So what is this cryptocurrency maturity model? It's essentially a dashboard. It's a data dashboard that provides various cryptocurrency metrics along with the most recent GBA working papers and research projects. And I want to talk about that when we actually show the demo about the research projects and working papers, because I know each of the working groups are working on something like that and would like to spotlight them on this dashboard and provide data from their report. So the first iteration of this dashboard contains metrics from the impact of cryptocurrency adoption on government. And what does it include? It includes a cryptocurrency comparison, right? You can compare as many cryptocurrencies as you want, and there's tons out there. I think it actually needs to be filtered down so people can actually easily find it, but they can. I'll go through that in the demo. Cryptocurrency comparison, cryptocurrency price by country and currency, right? The cryptocurrency price and then the fiat from the particular country. The cryptocurrency market cap, cryptocurrency volume, the cryptocurrency transaction volume, and also counts. And then also on the page, we have that research spotlight as I was talking about. And then the other part is notable links to the videos and podcasts that we have. And there's a whole idea behind it. So it wants it to be streamlined, not too much stuff happening, right? Because too much stuff going on kind of gives people a headache, but it's supposed to be streamlined. That's why it's kind of just basic right now. But we like to get the comments from the GBA leadership on it. So how did this come about? I just mentioned it. It's about, it came about during the cryptocurrency adoption, shows various metrics based on the research. We're working with strategic partners with data offerings. And the next iteration of the dashboard will have some additional information from another partner that has some pretty interesting information from a global standpoint. But that's just to get everybody excited about it. So that's the next iteration of it. And the idea behind this is that we can develop a framework that can be expanded over time. And that's really based on the actual technology framework that we're using. The dashboard strategy. How did it, how did it come about? We do have the strategic partners, but the most important part was the letter of agreement. It's sort of those that are familiar with memorandums of understanding. It's a lightweight memorandum of understanding. Essentially, I think it's a 3-page letter of agreement that the partner is going to provide this, GBA is going to offer this. So it's very light, and it's been signed. Everybody agreed on it. I don't know if anybody has worked on letter of agreements or MOUs. It does go back for a while, but eventually everything worked out, and both teams signed it, and we went ahead with the requirements on this dashboard. There are collaborative requirements. I think I might have the spreadsheet up. Yeah, the collaborative requirements here, just some examples of it. And we were trying to, again, based on that document, talk about what's the rate of cryptocurrency adoption. And then we said, okay, let's have the number of cryptocurrency transactions over time. The complexity is low. So we try to get what they call, the low hanging fruit. We wanted something that can be easily brought in and doesn't have to do with a lot of algorithms, a lot of metrics on the back end, which makes it more complicated for those that have created dashboards in the past. So we want to start small, as I just showed you, start small and then build it over time. Put that complexity in it as we build it out. There's 3 different strategies in this strategy document I'm going to show you next. Static charts and graphs, which is easy. You can just put a graph up on the page and you can go go with it. It doesn't change. It's static charts. The next one was the data dashboard, which we agreed upon. Let's do the data dashboard. We can actually get that going. And then the final one was a unique offerings dashboard. And that's something in the future. And what we mean by that is if we have certain work groups or certain areas of the country that we want to focus on, maybe we do a white paper, right? And provide some of the metrics from that particular location, whether that's, it's in India, it's or in Pakistan, or it's somewhere else, Australia, that we'll have a white paper and focus on data metrics from that area. And I think that's again, later down the road. And then going further is time series analysis, right? Doing some look at the cryptocurrency throughout time and do some kind of algorithms on it, or aggregate the data, which is way down the road. That's going to take some time and cost some take some time and money. And here's the basic strategy. Just want to talk about it real quick. I already said, here's the background strategies, and this is what I talked about, the static charts. We're talking about putting the M1, M2 money supply from the Federal Reserve St. Louis charts up. And then the data dashboard, visual representation of blockchain and related technologies, top 5 cryptocurrencies. So we decided on that. And then I talked about the unique offerings, right? Offering based on, again, working groups, industry, regional specific data, local community trends, stuff like that. That's later on. And then the strategy has an implementation, talking about the static charts, and then it goes into the data dashboard, and so on. So that's the strategy. And as I said earlier, we want to actually extend this over time. So what's the framework? It's portable. The data is portable, right? So if we do move away from, I know we're going to keep, we have WordPress, and if something different changes, right? We got the new, as Mark Wasser was talking about, the new, I guess, WordPress on steroids, that we can easily move it to that, right? So it's portable. They're Docker containers. So it's easily deployed through Docker. It sits on the Microsoft Azure environment, right? It's set up through pipelines. So we streamline that. There's documentation on that. How you can streamline when a new Docker instance comes up, we can actually easily deploy it. Again, you have development quality, or development qual and production. So the idea behind that is as GBA's needs grows, we can also grow with the data being provided. Um, Again, I can't reiterate this more, is we want to leverage the GBA strategic partner data offerings. There's also built in, I don't know if anybody has done work with Azure, but you can actually have desktop and mobile testing built into it. So we've done some of that with I think one of the iterations of this dashboard. The latest iteration, I don't know how deep we went into the mobile testing, but it works. You can actually do that. And then there's Google Analytics tied into it, which is really good. So many people are hitting the site. And then most importantly, based on this initial release of this dashboard, we want to get the feedbacks from GBA leadership and also the members. I want people to say, this is terrible, or hey, this is great. Can you add this? Or you need to take this off, right? Okay, so I want to get into the live demo now. And this is just a screenshot of or a proof of concept, which is what they call like whiteboarding. So let's get into it. Let's see. I actually have it. It's actually up. Here it is. So this is it. I'm going to refresh it right now. As you can see, it's on gbaglobal.org. And Jordan's done a great job. He actually put a lot of this up together through Texas, instant messaging and texting, and watching what Archie and the Bird Brains play overnight, and then him sleeping, and then him doing it. So thank you, Jordan, for all the hard work you did on putting this page up. So this is it right now. So it has the title. Maturity profile provides various cryptocurrency metrics along with the most recent GBA working paper and research paper, working papers and research projects. So you just have something fun, right? You have the top cryptocurrency, which is Bitcoin. They have Ethereum, and then over here is going to be like the total market capital of all the cryptocurrencies. And obviously you can change it through, you can do Canadian dollars, right? Which is pretty cool. You do check, but we have USD. So it's everything's in real time. Now over here is the actual dashboard that Morpheus came up with. And it's real time. You can see everything change. Let's take this off. Take this off. I'll take Binance, leave XRP, and I'll type in. So here's all the coins that it offers. I mean, there's a lot of them. You can scroll through it forever. But I'll type in Ethereum. And as you type in the coin, it should start coming up. And you can see there's a lot of different Ethereum examples here, but we'll choose the normal Ethereum. And I'll show the price, right? But what we'll do is, since there's 3 coins, and let me show you the metrics right now. So it's price right now, but there's other ones. There's volume, market cap, and I talked about transaction value. US dollar, it's just the top, I guess, 5 currencies right now: yen, pound sterling, the Australian dollar, euro. We can put whatever currency you want in there. But we'll take off the y-axis and put our the single y-axis, put on the log axis, so we have multiple. And then here's an example of just the base currency, right? And the blue is Bitcoin, right? And you can see it through time, right? Just the price, up, gone up. Right? And what's interesting, you can see Ripple. So you can actually do some analysis now. You can look at Ripple, and you guys know what this is, why Ripple dropped so much in January 2021, right? It's because the SEC came after them with a lawsuit. So that's it. But what's interesting, look, it continued to go up even at the lawsuits it's going on. So it continued to grow. So this is interesting. You can deduce your findings from Ripple and that aspect of it. But let's add the market cap. So it's refreshing again. It's real time information. So the base currency is still there, but market cap's here, right? Same thing. Here's the total market cap. You can see it's interesting about March. You guys all remember this, between January and March 2001, Bitcoin made 1 trillion, 1.1 trillion in total market cap. And then obviously look at Ethereum, went up to it's 464 billion. And then you can also add it differently. You can do volume. Again, it's all comes up in real time.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Talk to us just for a minute about kind of where this is going, because this, first of all, this represents a lot of work. I mean, the cryptocurrency adoption paper, the maturity profile. Share with us a little bit about kind of what your vision is for how this thing's going to be used, and what some of the features, and how we can leverage it in GBA.
Yeah. So the idea, again, right now with everything that's happening in the space, right, is education, right? And that's why I like what Eric's doing and GBA is doing with the training. So a lot of it's education. So we'd want people to educate themselves. We also want them to come to this page and look at the data that backs a lot of the stuff that's happening in the industry now. And what we want to do here, like right now, we're saying spotlight on the impact of cryptocurrencies, right? What we like to do is as this, even though the paper will be there for a while, as this reaches its marketing, I guess, value, right? We can then move it down to have it linked down here with past research papers, and have like the voting working group if they write a white paper, or we do something with mining. We have the mining white paper and provide mining metrics over here on the right hand side. So again, it's kind of streamlined. You can actually see what's going on. There's not too much stuff going on, but that's the idea: is provide to back up the working group's work, right, with actual data that people can actually look at it and actually export this. There's no export on this now, like printing off the reports or extracting the data for putting into Excel. That's not there yet. That's something we want to do in the future, right?
I'd like to suggest, Mark, that we talk to Nabil Malik. He's the former head of the Mining and Cryptocurrency Working Group. He's still a GBA member, but he's a wealth of knowledge when it comes to data on mining and that stuff. And he could help, and he knows where all those data sources are. But yeah, if we put a section on here for mining, that kind of stuff, we could probably get those data sources, and he could even share, because he looks at things like price compared to energy prices, compared to hash rates, and he's got all kinds of models that you can plug in the variables, and it'll tell you, whether it makes sense to mine or not mine, turn your machine on or off, or invest in new equipment. But yeah, a mining component to this, I think, would be really valuable.
Oh yeah, there's so many places you can go with this. One other thing too is talking about spotlighting on a particular area. Like I said, you could talk about India, Pakistan, or even Luxembourg or something, where you actually show, or even if they want to see a spotlight on what they're doing from a cryptocurrency and blockchain standpoint, do like a 1 or 2 page white paper, right? And then give some metrics over here. And Morpheus doesn't necessarily have all that information. And like you said, the gentleman that you just mentioned will have that, but another strategic partner is Findexable, who's a huge fintech index, or essentially a database. in London, and they have a lot of their own partners that offer them data. Crunchbase is one of them. They have other ones that get this local community data from the particular areas that they're in. We have a partnership with them. They've offered to give us some data already. That's the next aspect of this dashboard is providing that information uh, on this GBA dashboard site, so if they can get a spotlight and have that information and have trends at that area. What the end goal is, we want people to come to GBA, to this dashboard, right? To do their own research, right? And we want to be quoted in research papers. We want to be quoted in university research papers, right? And have the quote GBA, and then obviously more advertisements for us. But that's the idea behind this. And right now, it's very simplistic. It's easy to see, easy to view, and it's I call it a first draft. But I think everybody will be kind of excited and happy with what we're doing and where we're going with the vision of this dashboard.
Yeah, let me just throw two things out. One, I'd like to hear from Lewis. He's got some thoughts and comments. And then secondly, Mark, I think as far as strategic planning is concerned, we ought to schedule meetings with each of the working groups to find out what is the data, how can the dashboard essentially support the work of the different working groups, right? But Lewis, you want to give us your thoughts?
Thank you. I was just, as this platform was being mentioned, it kind of sounds similar to some things I've seen on the web per se. And it just brought up to mind something called rebane.org. And basically in this platform, they actually started by kind of like receiving rewards for reviewing white papers and reviewing companies. So maybe, in a spin-off, maybe it could be done in the way that, GBA experts kind of read some white papers or kind of, have knowledge of current use cases. And then I guess those companies or those white papers can be reviewed by the experts of GBA, by GBA members, and they could get some type of, the company and the white paper get some type of rating. And then in essence, the GBA members could receive some type of reward, whether it's a utility token or one of the GBA tokens for doing so. And that's just an idea that I'm throwing out there.
It's a great idea. I like it. I took notes. That's awesome. And one other thing I was going to say, I like the idea of actually. So what's really big in Europe right now, and I think it's going to hit the U.S. soon. It's sustainability, right? And I think Mark Wasser said on one of his, I don't know if it's LinkedIn or one of the the blog things that we follow, or I think he might have said on Discord, or maybe it was on LinkedIn, but talking about the energy that the Bitcoin miners are giving off. I know it's big right now, but I think another good paper would be sustainability in the local jurisdictions or the local working group areas, right, where they have some kind of sustainability report and talk about, here's some of the data, here's some of the information that we have with the proof of work or proof of authority or proof of stake to help with the sustainability and the energy cost of Bitcoin mining or blockchain mining.
Yeah, I'd like to get some feedback because we got to turn it over to Matt Falk here shortly. But I'd like to get some feedback for those of you that are in the Zoom call or would like to kick in. What do you guys think about this?
I love it, and the gaming working group would like to be the first to extend an invitation for Mark to come and talk to us.
It'd be a pleasure. Yeah.
Mark, you're a popular guy.
It'd be a pleasure. Yeah. Like to.
Anybody else? Any thoughts? George, you're doing a lot of stuff in the area of research. Is there some opportunity for collaboration in this space?
Yeah, sorry, I was on mute. Sorry. Yeah, excellent. Great stuff, Mark. Definitely, I think we should even have a separate session only for this. And immediately when I saw that I had like multiple other ideas how we can do other stuff as well.
Oh yeah, excellent. Yeah, and George, will be great is, we're doing all this education. We're talking to all these individuals. Again, a white paper, small white paper on education and how many people understand Bitcoin, how many people are are teaching other people about it? Do they understand cryptocurrency, understand all the technologies, and get some data behind it? I think that would be another great. I mean, there's so many places you can go with this dashboard and with the data that's out there. There's so much data. Just gotta prioritize what we want to do.
For sure, especially right now when you said it in real time, so we can explain people in different sectors in real time how they can save or what's the effect right now, not just like some templates.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Mark, it'd be good to build a survey mechanism into this as well, right? So that as we're looking at particular topics, we can sort of reach out to people and see in real time sort of survey results on different subjects.
Yes, awesome. Got lots of notes. This is great.
All right. Any other final comments before Rob, I turn it back over to you? All right, Mark, excellent. Both Mark Montoya and Mark Wasser, thank you for all your leadership in these areas. It's mind blowing.